Imagine waking up to find your face on every news site in South Korea labeled a drug addict, all because you trusted a doctor. That is exactly what happened to Lee Sang-bo. He was a famous Korean actor who passed away suddenly in 2026 at just 45 years old. But his death wasn't just a sudden tragedy. It was the sad end of a story that started back in 2022 when a ruthless media machine and toxic internet culture destroyed a man who was already carrying too much grief. The mess started in early September 2022. A vague police report hit the news saying a popular actor in his 40s with the surname Lee was arrested for drug use. You know how the Korean entertainment industry works. They didn't even need to release his full name. The internet immediately turned into a witch hunt. Rumors began to swirl on Twitter and online forums. Netizens speculated wildly, throwing out names of every actor who fit the description. People were panicking, waiting for the identity to drop so they could judge. Then the police officially named him Lee Sang-bo. Fans couldn't believe it. This was a guy known for being gentle, humble, and dedicated to his craft. He wasn't a wild party animal. But the moment his name was attached to the word drugs, the Korean public treated him as guilty. The media didn't care about the context. They just blasted headlines about a famous actor's drug scandal to get clicks. The actual truth was incredibly unfair and heartbreaking. Lee Sang-bo was not a drug addict. He was a grieving man trying to survive. Back in 2008, he suffered a trauma that would break most people. He lost his parents and grandparents in a terrible gas poisoning accident in their home. He was the only survivor. He carried that immense weight alone for years, struggling with severe depression. To cope, he sought medical help and got a prescription for his mental health. To deal with the side effects of his depression medication, he went to a clinic in Gangnam and was given what he thought were standard diet pills. This is where the system completely failed him. The clinic gave him medication that contained a banned substance. Lee Sang-bo had no idea. He just trusted a licensed medical professional. But under Korea's strict drug laws, the police went after the patient. When they tested his hair, the substance showed up. Instead of investigating the shady clinic that was handing out bad prescriptions, the authorities arrested the victim. The entertainment industry instantly washed its hands of him. His agency was slow to defend him, leaving him to face the mob alone. MBC, the network airing the drama he was filming at the time called Golden Spoon, abruptly cut his scenes. They literally scrubbed him from the show to protect their ratings. They didn't care that a human being's life was falling apart. Netizens didn't hold back either. The comment sections were filled with brutal online bullying. People called him a fraud and a criminal. They said his clean image was a lie. In December 2022, the police finally cleared him of all charges. They confirmed he was given the drugs unknowingly by the clinic and had zero intent to abuse them. You would think this would be his big vindication. You would think the media would apologize and the public would welcome him back. But that is not how Korean celebrity culture works. An acquittal doesn't erase the stain of an accusation. The rumors had already done their damage. The stink of the scandal stuck to him. Casting directors got hesitant. Sponsors vanished. He tried to make a comeback, posting online to thank his fans, but you could see the pure exhaustion in his eyes. For the next few years, he tried to rebuild his life, but the psychological damage was already done. Living under the constant gaze of a public that had branded him a criminal took a massive toll on his health. He was a man who had already survived the worst tragedy imaginable, only to have his reputation shredded by a clinic's mistake and a police leak. Then 2026 hit, and the news broke that Lee Sang-bo had passed away at 45. Fans were devastated, but looking back, it wasn't sudden. It was a slow, painful decline caused by stress and public shaming. His heart just gave out. He didn't die from drugs. He died from the sheer weight of a toxic industry that treats its actors like disposable products. We always talk about the dark side of Korean entertainment, but we usually wait until it's too late to care. The police leak the names, the media amplifies the outrage, the networks cut ties, and netizens act as judge and jury. By the time the truth comes out, the person is already broken. Lee Sung-bo was a brilliant actor and a good man who didn't deserve any of this. We lost a star because a headline mattered more than the truth.